Hello, all. This is my first simulcast ever. Like, you can't really see it, but good morning, YouTube. How is everyone? Good morning, Rumble. How is everyone? Good morning, Facebook. How is everyone? I hope this video finds you well. This is Debo live from the toy room. It's really hard to see sometimes, and the Rumble one looks dark, and I'm not for sure why. It might be something on the phone itself. We might have to fix that for the next video. But I instead of uh, figuring out how to do it, how to make one video and put it on three different platforms, I decided to get three different devices and do it all at the same exact time, so I can make three videos in one uh, instead of trying to make three different videos. I can make one video and put it on three different platforms. And it's weird looking at three different things. You know what I mean? Three different devices. The toy for the day is Grogu. And obviously this is from the Mandalorian series, right? The child, which you later find out his name is Grogu. This must have come out before they actually found out. But it's Baby Yoda. Everybody went crazy for a little while for Baby Yoda. And my sister-in-law bought it for me from the dollar store. He's just a little posable doll. You know, you can move his arms. It's like a baby doll for men, you know. And this video is brought to you by the Recovery Dogs. My wife got us a license plate made. We got to figure out how to mount it to her car because her car is purple. Hence why she got a purple license plate. But this video is brought to you by the Recovery Dogs, and we will eventually get it up and running. It's going to be a second. Oh, I hope everyone is having as good a day as I am. It is chilly outside, and we are going to be in the Tim Tebow, right? Mission Possible. It's a 1-year daily devotional from Tim Tebow. And I picked this up at a yard sale for like $1. Uh, but it's where we're at. I will not be overwhelmed. Just in case each platform wanted to pause the video and read the devotional. I know it's not ideal. But they end with these little questions sometimes, which is great. Yeah, which is great because it just prompts thinking and promotes ideas. It says, "I will not be overwhelmed when he falls, he will not be hurtled down, because the Lord is the one who holds his hand." That is Psalms 37:24. Failure is inevitable. It's a giving. It is going to happen, and that's okay. Let's be honest. We've all had our fair shares of highs and lows. And it just talks about some accomplishments Tim Tebow's had, and some lows that he's had during his football career. I don't know if people are really familiar with who Tim Tebow is, but I remember watching him play college ball and then watching his journey for the pros. You know, said whether we bring it on ourselves or it is caused by other external factors, failure is a part of our sin nature. But from failure, we can learn important lessons. It shapes a lot of who we become, probably even more than our successes do. Only from screwing up and making mistakes do we find out what works and what doesn't work. I believe our responses to failures is what's most important. That is why we have the psalmist. That's why I love the psalmist attitude here. He acknowledged the fact that we all fail, period. But when we fail, we will not stay down. No matter what happens to you today, remind yourself that God is the one who supports you. I will be right back. I have to go make sure my bedroom door closed because my sister-in-law and them's coming over, and I have dogs and they have children, so I'll be right back. Oh, you're getting old when you need two different pair of glasses. You know, what, 6 minutes already? Oh, uh, man, I really perseverance is what I got from the message. You know, and how God does want to see how you respond. He wants to see how you. Sometimes I've always said sometimes you learn more from a loss than you do a win, and man, and the closer you get to like the closer you get to like the final game or the final level, you know what I mean, and lose. The closer you get to the Super Bowl, the harder it is to lose. You know what I mean? The more it hurts to lose. It doesn't hurt to be not that it doesn't hurt to lose, but if you don't make it to the playoffs, it's not going to hurt as bad as losing an NFC title game. It just isn't. Like Barry Sanders said that was the toughest loss of his career is losing the NFC title game, which I understand because the closer you get, the more it hurts to lose. For me in relationships, the more experience I got with a relationship and the closer I got to who God actually wanted me to be with, you know what I mean? Like, and I had to see it for what it is now. Looking back, I can see it's just a lesson learned and how I needed to show up when it was time important, you know what I mean? But that was a big loss for me. And I didn't respond well in the moment, but when I got another opportunity, say, hey, Ghosty, when I got another opportunity, I did not I did not fail. You know what I mean? I did not. I took the lessons that I had learned. You know, I didn't have all the time in the world to show this person that I was trying to be in a relationship with that I was the man or that I was this or that I was this worth keeping, you know what I mean? Or that I was this excellent player, you know what I mean? I didn't put my best effort on tape. And I can take solace in that. I can take refuge in that if nothing else, you know, I mean, it might have ended with a broken heart, but I can take that. Uh, in my next relationship, I showed up on Sundays from the first Sunday on. You know what I mean? And I put my best effort on tape. I I realized that I didn't have forever to show this person that I was the man, that I was a man, that I was willing to do whatever it took to be successful in life, man, and just give. Most of it is I got sober. Most of that is just maturing in Christ and maturing in my sobriety and realizing that part of me meeting God in the middle was not consuming drugs anymore, and that now I'm just blessed, man. I'm just like God, He looks out for me. So I never really am overwhelmed. Like sometimes I'll get overwhelmed on a daily, you know. I'm taking this IOP class, and it's like, what does success look like to you? You know what I mean? And really, I cannot ask God for any more, because man, I'm over blessed. I am beyond blessed. Uh, and so that I cannot, with an honest conscience, ask God for anything else, really. Like I have wants and like materialistic things, but I understand, I see them for what they are, and they're materialistic things, like a better guitar or a better amp, or or a better car. You know what I mean? But man, I ought to be happy with my old '05 Mustang. My good old mother-in-law bought it for me, man. I love that car. I swear, it's got a pulley whining. You know what I mean? I'm just thankful it wasn't transmission, but I had it went and had it looked at, and it's just a pulley whining, man. But it still get it. That car get it, son. It's a 6 cylinder, but it's real light in the body, and that car will get it. But and I should be grateful, man. I have a real problem with being, and I think everybody does to a certain extent, being grateful for what they do have, instead of looking or being focused on what they don't have. Uh, I try to be I try to be thankful and stay in the moment. I had a good friend, his name's Frank, and when I first got sober, there it would be time to fellowship, like during or after or before the meetings, and my mind would always be somewhere else. My mind would always be on something else, instead of, but he would pull me to the side. He's like, stay in the moment, man. He's like, I'm here right now, I'm in this moment, concentrating on what is said and trying to be there for a fellow alcoholic. You know what I mean? Trying to be and put use by God. You know what I mean? Trying to get the best out of me and what God has intended for me. You know what I mean? And it's to help, and it's truly to help another alcoholic, and use my voice and my speaking skills uh, to grow the kingdom of heaven, man, and to grow the sobriety community. But I feel overwhelmed on the daily sometimes. Like today, it's cold. I really don't feel like getting out, man. I really don't. But I'm put in a position where I have to, because me as a man, I can't let other people do all the work for me. You know what I mean? I can't let other people be responsible for my responsibilities. And they're like, "No, we just love you and we want to help you." And that's maybe my pride and my ego, which I still struggle with every bit of that. God says, in when you are weak, He is strong. You know what I mean? And it shows what God does for me when I can admit my weaknesses, man. So and and on the bigger picture, in the bigger picture, man, I have been overwhelmed spiritually, like, or lack thereof. A lack of spirituality in my life, failure to enlarge my spiritual life. And that's really where I'm at. Is I I worked in residential treatment for the company I've always worked for. God bless them. They done nothing wrong, and I'm glad that I didn't leave on a bad note. I'm glad I didn't have to be fired to leave. That I just saw it for what it is, and it was my time to move on. And there was going to be more peace in my life, and it had nothing to do with them, or it wasn't a situational football. It wasn't anything that was going to pass. It was just going to be what it was. And like, it took me a minute to realize that I have all of y'all. Man, I have this right here. Like, this is what keeps me accountable. This is what keeps me spreading the message. This is my platform now. I don't have to get up in front of 60 fresh off the street addicts to carry the message, man, and to fulfill God's plan for me, that I can do it right here on this platform, or these three platforms. You know what I mean? I don't have to be in the trenches. And I just think it was God's way of showing me that I needed to be still and know that He was in control. You know what I mean? And not be overwhelmed. Like, it was overwhelming at first. It like I can't even drive by the building without this feeling of dread over top of me. You know what I mean? And in my heart, because I do miss it. I miss my coworkers, man. I miss the camaraderie. I went to Cowboy Church the other night and man got and like 60 people give me a hug. And but that once again that's my own pride. That's my own like Jesus wasn't a popular person. He wasn't in this big popularity race. Like he did have people following him, you know what I mean? Like Jews and Gentiles alike, you know what I mean? But like from from the big wigs, from the Pharisees and Sadducees and like the Romans and King Herod or however you pronounce his name, Jesus wasn't a popular person. And I don't need to base my self worth, you know what I mean? My pride and ego does not need to be based. Good morning. Sometimes you gotta let go of things and have better things come out. That's right. Hey, hello, Michelle. Hello, Chris. I hope you guys are right. And you're right, Michelle. Sometimes I have to realize that, and I have to trust in God that He's got something else in mind for me. Like I'm needed elsewhere. My mentor talks about how the Bible refers to God as a potterer. You know what I mean? And how if like he'll mold us, he put us on the pottery wheel and he'll mold us into something that into a cookie jar. He said a cookie jar. He's so crazy, man. He said a cookie jar. And he said a year later, he might not need a cookie jar. He might need a flower vase. So he'll just bust us up and turn us back into clay and mold us up again. You know what I mean? And how it's trial by fire, man. And like I don't know if everybody's art class was like that, but good old Miss Bug, God bless her. She had us make them pottery things and put them in the kennel. She had that kennel, and that was part of art class. And or it wasn't a kennel; it was that thing that heats it up, that like, and it gets all the impurities out of the sort of hold together. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what God does to us. He will reshape us and remold us and repotter us into something that's better use for Him. And like I wasn't living up to my potential. I lost sight of putting God first in my life, and how that I was not being of efficient use. Like I was satisfying my own ego. I was satisfying the company, you know what I mean? I was making them some money or whatever. And like financially, I'm in a better spot than I ever have been. And it's not like I'm making more money than I ever have been. I'm just blessed by God. But now God don't need a cookie jar. You know what I mean? God needs me somewhere else, and I have to sit still a little while. uh, I haven't really seen her. I take a notion run into everybody, but I haven't really seen Miss Bug or even Jesse Bug. And you're right, Chris. We're vessels by God. We don't really own ourselves. We don't really own our souls. We don't really own our speaking skills. We are vessels from God, and He'll use us as He sees fit. Anyway, this is about the it's about time. I have to go track some stuff down. I just wanted to do my first simulcast. Here, I'll let Facebook see. See, look, there's Rumble, there's YouTube, and of course, this is Facebook. You know what I mean? So, like, instead of having to choose one platform or the other, I've just been choosing all three. I appreciate you, Chris Frith, and I appreciate Michelle. Like, commentary is always good, man. The live chat's always a good thing because it furthers the conversation. It will let you see a vantage point or another set of eyes on the problem. Anyway, I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. This is Debo Live coming at you from the Recovery Dogs. I love you guys. And until next time, one recovery time, One recovery place and one recovery channel.